It was another warm, sunny day on USC's campus, but one thing remained a mystery. What is noir, and why is LA such a popular setting for noir stories? This would be a difficult job to solve, so I need all the help I could get from the experts on our Dornsife faculty. Join me, won't you? Through another door to Dornsife. Now to the first question of this case, what is noir?
People are still arguing about what noir is. Is it a genre? That is, can you say it has to have X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C elements in it? There's often a femme fatale, there's often a detective, there's often a rainy street and some kind of crime. Or is it something else? Is it a mood? Is it a kind of perspective on the world?
The stories take place in a universe that is at best indifferent and possibly malevolent, and that pretty much everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
The professors explained that noir typically presents a grayer version of the detective story than what you might find in, say, Sherlock Holmes.
The American detective is a more ambiguous figure. He's somehow between the criminals and the law. He walks a line.
Often in a noir mystery, people are called to account, but the puppet masters, as it were, remain out in the world. And so there's a kind of undercutting, too, even of that sort of closure of the detective novel, even when the book is fulfilling that central purpose of solving the crime.
These undercutting, morally gray stories were given the name noir, French for black, in 1946 by French critic Nino Frank. As opposed to the big-budget American movies, French critics liked noir
because they thought the noir films were really much more of an insight into what was happening in the American character.
Ça, je comprends.
But where did this dark outlook on the world come from? An outlook as bleak as a starless night in the city.
The genesis of the form itself comes out of the Depression, a kind of sense of promises that were not kept or rugs pulled out from under people's feet.
You know, it's a reaction to the incessant traumas, certainly of the first half of the 20th century. World War II, the rise of Nazism and fascism, the Holocaust. What is morality in a world in which there seem to be no values?
So we've solved the first part of the case. The dark world of noir came from historical traumas, and according to the professors, this mixed with the American crime novel, existentialism, and visual styles like German expressionism and poetic realism to create noir as we know it today. A fatalistic genre in which
The only thing you can depend on is death.
the only thing you can depend on is death. You're damn right. But I was struggling to solve why LA specifically is the setting for so much noir. I tried to drown this elusive question in drink, but the bastard knew how to swim. So I consulted the professors once again.
California in general, and Los Angeles particularly, was seen as a kind of a promised land.
The place where you become healthy, the place where you make money, the place where you lie on the beach.
And then you get here, and in fact, you're still worried about all the same things you were worried about wherever you came from, and you still have to figure out how to make a living, and maybe you fall in with the wrong crowd, and stuff starts to happen.
And if you're an undergrad who wants to further explore the LA of novels and films or learn the truths about noir for yourself, Dornsife has popular courses that do exactly that. And now to solve the final question of this case, noir still has a strong influence. Two great examples are the Blade Runner movies from '82 and 2017. But why do we keep coming back to noir today?
Well, I think noir taps into a basic truth about culture. I mean, one side of the narrative says, yes, buy your bootstraps, the American way, just do your hard work and everything will be fine. And the one that says, nah, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You're doomed.
Noir asks us to identify with criminals or people with dark pasts, and while we may think of their actions as villainous,
we're sort of rooting for them also. Then it comes back to us, and we have to decide, what do we want to do? How do you want to live? And what are you willing or capable of doing if, in fact, you are pushed to the wall?
So noir continues to have an appeal because it taps into a pessimistic strain inherent in our culture and asks us deep questions about who we are and our place in the universe. So there's another case closed, thanks to the help of the faculty of Dornsife, who can shine a light on the dark streets of the noir genre.